So if your social media algorithm wants you to be as miserable as mine wants me to be, you've probably seen the videos talking about how most men find most women attractive, but most women find most men unattractive. And such a weird imbalance can be difficult to explain given the subjective nature of attractiveness. So I thought I'd provide a little clarity on the situation with an analogy that uses something more objectively measurable than looks. So imagine you're casually watching a YouTube video when about 30 seconds in, the creator says, "This video is brought to you by Skyreach, the world's first ever height maximising pill for men." Now this ain't your first time hearing about Skyreach, so you already know what it does. This is a pill that will increase a man's height by 6 inches. But the catch is, this can only work up to a maximum height of 6'4". I'll get to why there's a limit in a second, but for now, let's just accept that 6'4" is the maximum height. This means that if you're 5'10" and you take the pill, you'll grow 6 inches taller to 6'4". But if you're 6'2" and you take the pill, you'll only grow an extra 2 inches taller. And if you're already 6'4", the pill won't do anything for you. So if we assume that 6'4" is the most attractive height for a man, then anyone 5'10" and up gets to be 6'4" whenever they take the pill. But here's where things get really interesting. If 6'4" is the most attractive height, then realistically, anyone within 3 or 4 inches of 6'4" is also going to be considered tall enough to be an attractive height. Which means 5'10" isn't the minimum for someone to really benefit from 6 inches of height, 5'6" is the minimum, because the pill will take them to 6 foot. And maybe 6 foot tall is the minimum height for someone to be considered somewhat tall, but it's not the minimum height for someone to be considered tall enough for most women. That's probably more like 5'10", which means a man can still get significant benefit from the pill if he's starting at 5'4". So on an individual level, this pill is helping guys who were kinda tall become perfect tall, guys who are simply not tall are now kind of tall, guys who were kinda short are now simply not tall, and guys who were way too short are now just kinda short. Additionally, on a group level, the pill has drastically increased the average height of men. And because the pill doesn't do much for men who are already tall, the gap between the tallest men and the shortest men is much smaller than it would naturally be if the height pill didn't exist. Now replace the word men with women, tallest with prettiest, and height pill with makeup, and there's your answer. If average men behave like average women, then average men will be doing whatever it took to create the illusion of being above average, thus raising the standard of what's considered to be average. Because right now, the gap between an attractive woman and an unattractive woman is much smaller than the gap between an attractive man and an unattractive man. And unfortunately, there is no magic pill for men to temporarily grow 6 inches taller. So what is the male equivalent of makeup? Because mewing, hair transplants, steroids, nose jobs, jaw implants and leg lengthening is not the equivalent of a bit of foundation and mascara. And whilst actual makeup can make a man's face look fresher and more even, it definitely doesn't enhance a man's aura of masculinity the way it enhances a woman's aura of femininity. Although, there is something that a man can use that is just as effective, if not more effective, than makeup is for women. But that's a topic for another video because, retention. But if this video goes up on the day that I think is going up, then I should probably leave you with a positive message. So, here goes. I know that dating apps and social media can make it feel like everything's about looks and money, but saving up your hard-earned money to become a shallow, cosmetically enhanced pretty boy just to attract a bunch of shallow, cosmetically enhanced airheads is not what's going to make you happy in the long run. Instead, how about you just find a modest looking woman with a good personality, a good heart and a great mind, and use your savings to pay for her cosmetic surgery. That's what's going to make you happy. Gentlemen, now.